Well, hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to Leading Ladies, leaving legacies all around the world. I'm not sure if it's good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, but wherever you are, welcome. And thank you for joining us in Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. I am Joy Ruffin. My work is as a leadership and style consultant, a signature style specialist, speaker, executive producer, TV host, and podcaster, and it's all connected. It's all aligned. I work with women all around the world who want to amp up their wow factor, no matter the generation, and those who want to give themselves a wee bit more style. But that's for another conversation. My friends, I have an announcement to make here and now tonight. You know, I get excited, and I was so excited to bring you my featured guest speaker tonight, Maya Monta. But unfortunately, life happens. This thing we call human nature, life, it has its own outline. It has its own destiny and its own purpose. And my work is predominantly with people who are in leadership, who are doing service work, who are all about being people of their word and hold true to the honor, the loyalty, and the love of themselves. And that's what Maya is. But Maya, unfortunately, was hospitalized. That's probably that and death, the only two reasons why people don't show up here. So let us send her prayers, let us send her love, let us send her our heart warm greetings to get well quickly, because the work that she's doing, what we're going to be talking about tonight, why all children are our future and why that's so important. And we're going to talk a lot about a lot of different things. Maya's in the Philippines, and that's work that she's doing there with a nonprofit. But trust me when I tell you that she will be here. I'm not sure if it'll be January or February, but more than likely, once she'll show up, we will get into the heart of this conversation. Because I don't want to go there, because even though I love working with young people, and I do, I really applaud, celebrate, and commend those who really do stellar work for kids today, because all of us, no matter the generation, we're so needed. Our young people need us more than ever. You read probably the content, you know what the topic was going to be about. I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to segue and talk a wee bit more about something that I spoke about briefly on Monday, because I had a little, what do you call it, a file up, a faux poo, because for whatever reason, Facebook Live didn't work. And this was a conversation I really wanted to have. And that is, what is the art of conversation? And what does it, and how does it involve all of us who are working in corporate or entrepreneurial online? So I thought, why not take it further and use it tonight? Because my friends, there's no denying that all of us, no matter what label or title we give ourselves, we are one or the other, or sometimes several. We are connectors, we're promoters, we're creators, we're designers, we're builders, we're originators, and we are architects of our own destiny. In fact, today I had the opportunity to tune into a wonderful networking event. It was all about financial freedom and budgeting. And there is no financial freedom without that. And no one knows that better than I do. So I thought I'd add that into the art of communication. And what does that really mean? What does it do for you? And by the way, I can never, ever say welcome enough, whether you're here now or you come for the replay, because we, all of us here in Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies, and we are a team. None of us do anything on a solo basis. The art of communication is really the language of leadership. And that was said by James Hume. And that resonated with me, because leadership for women predominantly, and men needed too, real, true, genuine friendship and leadership, they go hand in hand. So I thought, well, why not talk a wee bit about that? Because having great communication skills will take you through all facets of life in the best way. So why not let us have a conversation? Let's acknowledge how we go about it, what it does for us, and the impact that it has upon others. Again, I'm going back to human nature. We all have our plans. We all have our idea about what we want to do and our purpose in life, and how we want to be and fulfill our purpose in life, the mission, the calling that we're here for. Some of us know it and some of us don't. We cannot forget that this is a huge, big collective, and everyone is at different levels and stages of their evolving into who they're here to be, who we're here to be. And everyone's at different levels. It's just like going through grade school. You start off in preschool, kindergarten, and then you go up and you get into middle school and then to high school and then on to college. But yet, what oftentimes far too many of us forget, and I have to tell you, I was somewhat guilty many, many moons ago. We forget that we are part of the whole. We are all one. No one is different in their minds or better in their minds because we're all really the same heartbeat, the same everything, the energy and the soul and the heart of us. And yet there's a vast difference between each and every individual. And that's what we speak to when we talk about the art of communication skills. What is yours? How do you communicate? And I brought that up for a reason because I'm working with a beautiful group of young people. And I love working with young people. I really do because I'm a happy senior, but I learn every day. I keep my mind and my heart open. Sometimes I work with those who can't receive it. They're still going through their evolving. I get it. There's no blame, there's no judgment. I don't throw the shade at them and criticize. But I see it, I feel it, and I understand it. They're not there yet. But I'm sharing this with you to say that in one of the groups, when I first started, someone said to me, well, Miss Ruffin, and some of them call me Miss Ruffin, some of them call me Miss Joy. It's all one and the same. Well, what do you do when you have people who think they're better than you are? And someone else asked in a different context, well, sometimes you put people on a pedestal because, well, both of those things are not viable for any of us. Neither. You don't put people on pedestals because the pedestal will wobble and everybody's human, back to human nature. Blood, DNA, genetic structure might be a little bit different, but underneath it's the same DNA, the basis of the foundation for the body, the vessel, the temple. So you don't put people on pedestals. You admire them, you respect them, you give them high regard, and you throw them applause, but don't put them on a pedestal. That's what's wrong with the entertainment industry for many of our young people. They see the people there. And unfortunately, I'm not attempting to be politically correct anymore at this time and stage in my life. Too many elders do the same. Admire them, salute and praise them, but don't put them on a pedestal. And don't allow anyone in their communication style to you. And style is paramount in my DNA and my work that I'm here to do with women. Everyone has their own style. Let it be unique to you, but let it have balance, grace, and beauty and dignity and a lot of class. Bring the culture of you into it, but add the best of whatever that is. Because this is what was said by, I just think this is so good, by Sidney J. Harris. I want to repeat this because it's so important. And for all of us who are working online, in corporate for that matter as well, I'm into not to impress, never ever to impress. Those days are over, but to be expressive, to convey, hopefully to inspire and ignite. Yes. So when I give you the semantics of words and ask you to do your own research, homework, I love the movies. Your assignment is, should you decide to take it, is this: the semantics and the difference between information and communications. These two words are often interchangeably mixed in and up, and yet they're vastly different. They are aligned, they do connect, but the differences in the semantics of the difference we really need to understand. And don't we all run into people a lot here, there, and about who are using words and they're not, there's no clarity on how they're using those words. And so that's why I wanted to bring this up again today. For those of you who didn't tune in to Joyful Monday, which was a beautiful disaster. Love disasters. And it goes like this: information, heed, take in, absorb, is giving out. You gather the information, you do your research, you analyze, you put it together, whatever your style might be, and then you give it out. right? Communications. Oh, this was so powerful for me. If you can receive this, you're in my team. You belong here. Communications is getting through with most likely the information that you're delivering. Well, how do you do that? You know, to an extent, your audience, your purpose, what your method is, your aim. What is the end result of what you want to end with? And my friends, for me here and now with you today, is for you to know as much as you can about leading ladies who are leaving legacies, whether they're 18 or 88 or above. To listen and to heed the messages that they're sharing and to become a part of their community and their team if it's aligned with something that you're doing. Back to being the connector, the promoter, and the designer, the builder, the architect of you. You want to be able to do that. That's the purpose and the aim here. And also, cannot leave this out, to awake a lot of us who are really not in sync with our divine femininity, which entails a lot of our sensuality and sexuality. That's true femininity, that's divine femininity, and it allows you to show the goddess within you, because every woman, oftentimes not even knowing, is a goddess. The word queen is overused. Not every woman is a queen. Queen is a lot of work. Not even empress. That's a lot of work as well. You might be in the process of, but not truly, but that will come. And if that's not one of the most powerful quotes that you have heard, communication and information are vastly different, yet they're interchangeable. And the semantics of the words and the communication is how you're getting through. If you are working online in corporate, if you're in leadership, forget about which arena you're dancing in. How are you doing it? How are you making your impact? What's important to you? I mentioned the entertainment industry, which I love. Entertainment industry, the fashion industry, and everything that's involved around it. The arts, both of those contain both. But yet many of us, far too many, have lost our sense of reality about it and ourselves. The only assignment that you have, that I have, that we all have here on this planet Earth is to develop ourselves to our highest frequency and vibration, which is pure love. Do we get to it? Most of us don't. But that's not the ultimate end all be all. It's the goal, it's the aim, it's the working in that direction. That's why I always say, and I love this movie, these movies, the TV series that turned into a movies, the old and the new. I watched them both. Your mission, well, it's from Mission Impossible. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, it's homework, homework. I mentioned Monday, I think it was, and if I didn't, I'm mentioning it now. I heard this beautiful lady say, she's an actress, I can never think of her name. She said, I speak and talk to young people all the time, all over the world. And I tell them all the time, get out of your zip code. Now, if you have a mind that's an exploring mind, if you like adventure and you like doing your own research and you don't want to become complacent and reside in too much comfort and contentment, then you want to explore. And that means even though you're in this zip code where this library is held, expand, go out into others, take bus rides through, take a car ride, take a train ride, an airplane if you can afford it, whatever it is, or go to the library and get books, read and explore your mind, because your mind, heart, and soul, the love of that connected, will take you further than almost anything that you can mention. Again, back to this workshop that I listened to today, budgeting, getting financial freedom, because the headache of not having that isn't worth it, especially as time goes by. So the sooner you start to be able to understand what this beautiful soul expressed to us today, this budgeting rule about 50, 30, 20, then you're not going to be able to have the best communication skills because the anxiety and all that other stuff will play into that. So you want to be able to just know what your style is, because having great communication skills, and it doesn't mean that you have to have a great voice, that the voice has to be loud, that you have to have a large vocabulary, that you have to string your words together, boom, boom, but you have to bring somewhat, or as my friend said, and I love her for this, you're invited to have as much clarity as you can, to be as succinct and clear as you can. Most everyone knows I have an issue with pronouncing words. I really, and certain words and certain names, I go, I keep plowing on. You just keep going. And I can laugh with and at me quicker than anyone in love because I know some, not all, of my shortcomings. And our assignment while here is to learn as much as we can about that. So many of us run away from that knowing of self. And that said, the time does fly, even when I do this as a solo. I want to take a quick little reset and I want to invite you, as I love her expression, you're invited to. I want to take this reset right here and now, and I want to invite you to my group. And that group, you belong here. It's Leading Ladies, Leading Legacies. Now, I started with about, I think, 36, 39, can't remember the exact number, somewhere in there. And now I'm almost up to 7. But you know what? My goal towards the end of 2024 is 1,000 or more because there's work to be done. And ladies, we all need each other. We don't do anything alone, nothing at all. And the more we can join together and connect, the better off we're going to be. So whatever you do, go here and join this group. You're not committed to do and be there to align and connect with others at all. But my prayer is that I hope that you will. And then I want to show you something else. And that's something that I come to, and it's called Designing You. And I want you to go here and take a look. This is all about leadership at its highest vibration. Why? Because here you are truly going to get the best capsule and more if you desire of what and who you are here to be and why. So many people run from that knowing and their faith, belief, higher source, prime, supreme being, and all the other names that you can use. They run away from this. But this is a gift to you. It's a very involved freebie, a lot of reading, much more probably than most do today. But trust me, when you read through this, you'll see that it was designed with you in mind. So if you can get there, I want you to get there and get this because you're invited to explore more about you. Let's talk about you because you are rare, royal. Oh my goodness, own it. And when you do, you'll find that so much more will happen for you. Now, that said, we're talking about communications and the art of it and what does it and how does it involve you? There's so many ways that we can blame people. We can say, well, we have this sense of entitlement and it's their fault. And because of this, they owe me. My friends, this is the hardest lesson for so many people to take in. I don't care how much you give out. No one owes you anything. If you're not giving it from your heart and soul, and you're not giving it in a way where it can be received without sense of obligation, then what type of communication style is that? You want to be very, very much aware of that. One of the movies that so many that I love, and all of them have pivotal, powerful points, quote, sayings that you have in you think and you remember them because they impacted you in different ways. And another one that relates to what we're talking about, communication and your style and flavor, is The Hunger Games. And I tie that in with Star Wars. And why do I do that? Let me tell you why. Because in The Hunger Games, I love this because when you are a risk taker, when you like to explore, do your own research, and go beyond ordinary boundaries that are set for you, and you're not content, which is not a good word almost in any context, with settling in, You don't want anybody to tell you the odds are not in your favor, because may the odds be in your favor. That's what the Hunger Games says when they start off with these games. I love it. I wasn't crazy about the series, but that stuck with me. May the odds be in your favor, because a lot of times it won't be, and you'll take that leap and you'll maybe bruise or hurt yourself. You'll jump and you'll skip and maybe you'll miss something and boom, tumble. But if you don't take that risk, and I know from whence I speak because I'm about to take one, you're only harming yourself. And even then, if it fails, you get up and you start again. You can do whatever you want to do. This is the beauty of human nature. We can do whatever we want to do. So if you want to not take the leap, you're invited to settle in, have that contented life, and be living in a life that, and then looking to others, which is what happens so often. But if you're in leadership, that's not for you. Male or female, it's just not for you. No matter how creative or inventive you are, how brilliant, if you are not willing to explore beyond your boundaries, and that's why I love Star Trek. And everything for me relates and connects back to some type of saying. Because in Star Trek, I remember as a teeny tot listening to Starbucks, and I'm saying, oh my God, I love that. To go boldly where no man, I put / woman, has gone before. And I'm talking about, for us, true equality, which does not involve entitlement and you owe me and it's time to pay up. No, that's not true equality. And when you have what's the right word here? You have a hunger and a thirst for attention and you want to be seen, heard, and valued. Let's take it to its highest vibration. Let's add some dignity, some elegance, some sophistication, some culture and class into that presence that you're presenting. I'm not talking about the red carpet or the fashion runway. I'm talking about you and your style, so that you can go boldly where so few will go because they don't have the awareness and they haven't awakened like you are to all the greatness, as Les Brown said, that's within you. And it is so true. I think many wait, as I did, to find out later in life, maybe, no, maybe, can be done. But you have to take the initiative. You have to take the step to be able to do that. So the question for you when it comes to the art of communication, what is it that you're yearning for? What are you seeking? Because you're invited to respond to any and everyone that you're communicating with. And this is a important comment here to make for all of us to embrace. You're invited to respond to what you're listening to, and with observation, acceptance, and encouragement. You're not there to give your opinion even when they ask for it. And when you do it gingerly. And you find your way to do that. Because even when they ask you, they're not asking for your advice, your opinion, or your judgment. They want to see and know, do you really care about me? Are you interested in me? And what would you advise me to do? But they want to hear more. Do you really care about me? That's what you want to communicate to them. I'm interested in you. I care about you. Here are a lot of the rules and regulations that we go about when we talk about how we communicate and how we give that inspiration and ignite something within others. But are you hearing what they're saying? And are you repeating back in a way that they can receive it and know that you really care about them? For many, many young women, girls, which I volunteer with, did before the pandemic, we'll be going back soon. I sense, because that hunger and that pain, that anguish, that struggle to find themselves, and so thirsty. That's what my friend gave me, that word. And I love that word, for attention. And that attention goes off in a direction that's not really in the long run going to be conducive for a life that's lived with financial freedom and abundance. and the stability that one seeks. Because that thirsty, that hunger, that starving for attention, unless you really began to know, and that's why I work with, to get to know who you are. That's why I have designing you up here when I show you that. Because not only the young people that I'm around and I work with, how many elderly people, mature people have I met? And I've met many, and so have you. I know you have no clue about who they are. It's about the money. It's about, and there's nothing wrong with money. Have to have that respect and love for money, but respect first. Because if you don't respect it, then you really can't love it where it gives you the financial freedom that you seek. So that said, how many have you seen? You say, they're doing this, that, and the other, but they're really not about exploring to get to know who they are. That's the assignment that we all have here on the Earth School. But never forget this collective that we're all a part of. And everyone is playing their role at different times. That's why I love Shakespeare, and I fell in love because when I heard that from As You Like It, everyone's a player on the stage, entrance, exit, and plays many roles during their lifetime. No matter what it is that we do and how we communicate, it will be constantly changing. And that change, let me just say this, when it comes to change, energy, and the vibrations of who and what you're all about, time, they're kind of interchangeable, just like communications and information. Because until we are able, and that means all of us, until we can invite within ourselves the ability to receive and accept time, energy, and change, you can't really grow that much because you're stagnant. And I don't know of anyone who wants to remain stagnant. Most everyone I meet, I don't care what class or classification or strata they're at, everybody wants to rise and to have financial freedom and stability. But you know what? I hear a lot of grandiose ideas with no focus or plan. And I was one of them. So I know from whence I speak. Grandiose ideas about what you want to do and how you want to do it. But the focus, the plan, the strategy is not there. The idea is there, but nothing else. That's why we all need each other, because if you have a strength here, you need someone who has a strength there, that you have a communication style that's aligned and connected where you both are in sync, or your team is in sync so they can follow you, you can follow them, and you get the end result that works for everyone. That's what good leadership communications is all about. Well, what can I say? Let me just say this. When it comes to all of us here now on this planet Earth, however we came here, it'll be a discussion that's never ending. But let's throw away the envy, the jealousy, and the covet someone else's whatever. Let's work towards being the best of ourselves, who we are. Let's rise to that. And my friends, thank you for your time and your attention. I really appreciate it more than I can share with you, because I don't usually have last minute show cancel out or no shows, for all the reasons that I work so hard to make sure I align with people who have the same ethics and outlook that I do, and Maya does. So send her prayers and love again. And I want to bring up, before I say goodbye, because I'm doing a little promoting today for people that I love and that I'm working with, and I want you to be aware of them. This is a company that I'm with that has my soul software. And I'm not the big promoter, but I want you to go there and get the white glove service. Take a look, take a screenshot, take a snapshot, and see what this is all about. This beautiful soul will be here with me on the 27th. And we're going to talk a lot about this and all the options and possibilities that it offers you. And trust me when I tell you, it's never ending and it's phenomenal. You will enjoy. That said, let me say this then, as I always do. I'm sending you much, much, much love. I thank you for your love, your patience, and your understanding. And again, send prayers and much love to Maya Monta, because she will show up here at some point in time. And until we meet again, I send you from my heart to yours much, much love. And thank you much. Cheers.